Our last video was about ending self-censorship. Well, this one is about liberation of primal force within ourselves. That is to say, sexual force. Noting, please, that sexual force in both men and women has a masculine and a feminine side. Okay? Whoa, what are you talking about? The chi that is responsible for your sexual energy is part of a circuit that has both masculine and feminine energy in it, and you can merge the two. I am titling this video Sexual Alchemy, and I credit Jim Carrey, who I just watched on a YouTube video, for that term. Now, sexual alchemy was not a term invented by Jim Carrey, but he was espousing on some blog talk show or some video blog show that sexual alchemy is the way to Christ consciousness. So let's unpack that in a really wonderful way, as if we were at a party and we just finished hors d'oeuvres and now we're going for like some baked crab or something. Oh, sorry, vegans out there. Some baked artichoke hearts with some vegan cheese on top of it. Here's what we're saying, my friends, that life is trying to feed you a meal of Shiva-Shakti cake through your own sexual apparatus. You're supposed to get off on life just from being alive, because that is ecstasy, or bliss is a better word, because ecstasy means getting outside oneself, but bliss can be like a whole body rapture, because you know you're indwelt by spirit, and this gives you chills, and you're wondering, why is my hair standing up on the back of my neck while I'm talking, while I'm thinking these thoughts? Why am I shivering all over? Well, it's partially because this circuit of energy is wedded to your consciousness. So when your consciousness is moving, so is that circuit. And if it's moving in a harmonious masculine and feminine balance in a way that is bringing about higher and higher perception or direct perception of unity consciousness, then, well, it will get you off. It will give you a blissgasm. It will make you high. It will release endorphins and dopamine. It will change your brain chemistry. You will not want anything else for the rest of your life. The Amrita nectar of divine consciousness will become your one and only addiction. And therefore, you will become everything that the saints and sages have been looking to become forever. And nothing is going to stop you from realizing your most highest aspiration, because that is why the universe was created in the first place. For you, by you, and of you. For you, by you, and of you. That's why America is actually a really powerful metaphysical principle. Because America is only an ideal. America is not a nation. America is an ideal. You, as a person, are not an island. You're not a nation. You are an ideal. Like America is an ideal. The cells in your body are a collective sovereignty. I'm talking to that guy on the guitar. And you. But listen. Your cells are a collective sovereignty, like the bodies that make up America are America. But America's more than that. You're more than that. You're connected to timeless principles of self-evidence and self-realization and self-empowerment, self-direction, self-determination. All these things, self-government, first and foremost, and self-preservation. Because you know what? Only by identifying with the source of our creative essence can you have any hope of maintaining a country. It says it even in the Bible, if you believe the Bible, it says a kingdom divided against itself cannot stand. So, you know, what it really comes down to is you have a kingdom of sexual force within yourself. That kingdom extends out to the natural world through various circuits and meridians, okay? And you can perceive the life force in everyone and in everything. But first you have to be married to yourself through the masculine and feminine sexual alchemy that has to occur inside you first. And you know what? It takes meditation of many hours in length to do this, and a willingness to surrender to forces beyond yourself. Because yin and yang are trying to get into bed with each other inside you in a way they've never gotten into that entanglement, that entwined marriage before. Okay, so they're just feeling it out right now. They're like, okay, well, this is Andrew now. Remember, we're talking about you and I and the Buddha and everyone have had to go through this marriage in order to experience enlightenment. The self-marriage of masculine and feminine sexual force inside the body. It's just not optional. You can talk about enlightenment all day long, but if you don't know what self-marriage is, if you don't know what wholeness is, if you don't hold the space for Christ consciousness, which is a perfect union of masculine and feminine, which is very rarely achieved in a physical being, very rarely, even though the baseline of existence is that. We're all just kind of like non-homogenized waveforms on the surface of that great ocean of Christ consciousness. We just have yet to sink down into the sea of Satchitananda and lose ourselves to the bliss. Now that, my friends, is what allows us to let go enough to not be censored, to not be inhibited, to not lose our place in the universe. Our place is in the creche of the Christ and the Krishna and the Buddha. We live in that space of union, always and forever. Yet through self-inquiry and self-examination, the alchemy may be completed fully, and the one may take root in you. Let it be so.